Welcome to the Purposely Aligned Entrepreneur presented by Boss Girl Creative. This is episode number 431. Today, I'm talking about creating a community around your business. Now let's dive in. Have you already found business success but feel lonely at the top? Or do you feel like you're at a place in your business where others just don't get it? Or maybe you feel like you have to make yourself smaller in order for others to not feel less than. Or maybe just a little bit of all three? But with all that said, there is good news because I've been there and I see you, sister. I'm Taylor Bradford, the torchbearer of this podcast and sisterhood, and I'm here to lead and inspire you to stay purposely aligned in the success you have found and provide you with support, guidance, and a sisterhood to keep going. Because I do get it. Your business journey isn't meant to be traveled alone. So grab a notebook, your favorite pen, and a bevy, and let's dive into this together with this latest podcast episode. Welcome to the Purposely Aligned Entrepreneur Podcast presented by Boss Girl Creative and me. Hello and welcome to this episode of the podcast. I am your host, Taylor Bradford. Thank you so much for tuning in. I have to say before we dive into all the things, it is glorious weather right now in Texas, even if it is raining. Oh my gosh, we've been stuck in this awful heat bubble for, I think, over 100 days. It's been terrible. It's been so bad. I don't know why I call summertime in Texas home, but for now I do. But the goal will be summertime in Colorado in the future because, oh my gosh, this heat is so crazy. Okay. So today we're talking about creating community around your business and why that is really important. I mean, if you think about all of the big brands that you buy from, that you love, that you are a hardcore fan of, they have a community around their brand. They have diehard fans. They have events. They have, they're active on social media. Whatever it is that has given you a reason to love said brand, it is most likely due to the fact that they have created a community around it. They have created a unified group of individuals that find value in their purpose, in their intention, in the business as a whole. And that should be a huge want for your own business, which is why we're talking about creating a community around your business today. Before we dive in, let's get to this week's social media headlines. Social media headline number 1, Meta takes another step away from news content with the removal of Facebook news in more regions. Meta says that its users no longer engage with news content the way they used to. Social media headline number 2, TikTok explores new in-app messaging and engagement options. It is looking to keep conversation around TikTok clips in-house. Social media headline number 3, Instagram tests new option to hide your like activity in the app. The option would give you more capacity to manage your privacy in the app. You might get a notification that says choose who can see likes you've made on posts and reels. We're testing a new way for you to decide who can see when you like other people's posts and reels. Social media headline number 4, Pinterest adds new body type matching to improve the diversity of its discovery tools. The new tools will help users find more relevant pin matches. Social media headline number 5, Instagram rolls out option to share feed posts with close friends only. Instagram continues to lean into more private sharing. Social media headline number 6, X faces potential FTC scrutiny over missing ad labels, while creators complain of ad revenue share errors. The challenges keep coming for the X team, which is formerly known as Twitter. And that wraps up this week's social media headlines. All right, so let's dive in to the nitty-gritty of creating community around your business. So we all know that small business marketing is not always easy, but it is a key reality to building a community, to the community that it actually can create. I do want you to understand that building community around your business, like the actual doing of building the community, is not the strongest KPI out in the land. KPI means key performance indicator, but it is the thing that provides longevity in your business because it will increase your traffic and create awareness. That is what community around your brand can do for your brand, which is the long game, not the short game. Obviously, a strong KPI is selling something. You actually putting money in your pocket. But for longevity in the life of your business, building community is key. By having that increased traffic, by having that awareness for your business and brand, these two things single-handedly create deeper and more meaningful relationships with you and your business. So community is key for the longevity of your brand and your business. So how do we do this? How do we create community around your business? Where do we start? I'm going to give you 6 tips in order to give yourself that start or that restart because, again, longevity. If you're in it to be here for the long haul, community has to be a part of your action plan for your business. So tip number 1, do you have a blog for your business? Now you might be saying, why in the world do I need to blog for my business? Listen, I have been a blogger since 2008. And while I don't necessarily have a blog for the podcast because the show notes page are kind of the thing that go along with every single podcast, the podcast is legitimately an audio blog for this business. But for Sugar Creek, we do have a blog. We have a blog where we share the real weddings and the editorials because it's inspiring to other people planning their events. So having a blog is important because it's where you are able to showcase your business voice. A website isn't enough in this digital age. A blog can help you convey additional information. It can help you convey your personality. It can help you convey authority. This is why you should have a blog. It gives your business a voice. It builds trust. It establishes expertise, and your content on your blog versus social media on Instagram or Pinterest or wherever you're creating additional content in order to market your business, your blog content is evergreen or it can be evergreen, which means it's long lasting. Its staying power is for good unless you come back and delete it. Plus, your blog has SEO power, search engine optimization power. That is how people find you on Google or other search engines, and it differentiates you. These are the strong reasons why it's imperative that you do consider having a blog as part of your small business marketing plan. Again, your website just isn't enough. It's not enough to be able to deliver your brand's voice. It's not enough to be able to deliver additional information. It's not enough for you to deliver personality or authority. A blog can do that for you. So I want you to put that as a high priority on your list as part of your small business marketing tactics is writing a blog post. Now, it doesn't have to be weekly or daily. It could be monthly or bi-monthly. However, it ends up working for you, which consistency is something we're going to talk about as one of the tips for building community. But having a blog and being consistent with it is important. This is a strong indicator, a strong piece that will help you grow community around your business, around your brand. Tip number 2, are you accessible to your customers, to your potential customers? Your goal as a business is that you are a human. You are the human behind your business. And you are a very real person making the decisions behind your business. You are the human behind all of the marketing activities behind your business, or your team are the humans behind that. But your business, your brand has a voice because of you. And you are the piece, as I say over and over and over, you are the piece that cannot be replicated. So I want you to share the things. Be more than just the pretty. And what I mean behind that is be more than just the services that you offer. Be more than just the products that you sell. People are curious creatures. And I want you to offer glimpses of what that looks like in your own world. Those glimpses are what creates reality for people, which then creates connection to you and your brand. Because your business is more than what you offer, especially in a crowded market. I want you to elevate those parts and be accessible, because you are the voice behind your business, and that's what people are drawn to or will be drawn to. Tip number 3, quality content. You've heard me say this a million times. Content and its quality is important. So when you're thinking about your content and the channels that you are sharing it through, whether it's Facebook or Pinterest or Instagram or TikTok or your blog or your newsletter, is it interesting? Is it inspiring? Is it entertaining? Or is it educational? Your content and its quality has to be at least one of those to get people to follow and to get them to come back. That is why quality matters. Tip number 4, speak your why out loud through your brand. The values, the purpose, the intention behind your brand should be consistently felt and expressed. And if you are like, what does that mean? I'm going to totally plug my book, Pillars and Purpose, How to Build a Business That Works for You, which you can pick up through Amazon. Go to bossgirlcreative.com/pillars book. That's pillars with an S, book, to grab a copy. You can grab a Kindle version or you can grab an actual print version. But I'm going to tell you, this is going to be your roadmap for this particular tip and building your business, so that there is community also built at the same time. So the values, the purpose, the intention behind your business, behind your brand, should be consistently felt and expressed. Who is your blue person? When I say blue person, I mean, who is your ideal client? And how are they attracted to you and your values and your purpose and your intention behind your brand? How do they feel those things? And how do they see you express those things through your business? Once you are crystal clear on those, your connections become easier. You begin to build community because your ideal clients can identify their shared values in you and yours, which then dominoes into connections and experiences and relationships. So make sure you are speaking your why out loud through your brand. Tip number 5, get organized so that you can stay connected in conversation through time. Is it easy to have a conversation with you? Are you responsive to comments, emails, DMs, etc., the way people are reaching out to you? Are you keeping in touch with them through a newsletter? This is why it's important to get organized in your business so that conversation is easy to have with you. Now, I do want to put this caveat because it is important to train your customers, to train your potential customers to communicate with you in the best way that you can communicate back, which is part of being organized. So your inquiry form, do you want your customers to inquire about your services, about your offerings through every single channel that you have? No, because that means you're checking every single channel and the likelihood of you missing an inquiry is high. So train them on the best way to communicate with you, which is where the organizational piece comes in. So if you want them to come to your website and inquire through a specific form, everywhere else needs to direct them that way. But you got to make it easy. You've got to make it easy to have conversation with you. What I've learned recently, especially with corporate events, is that corporate is very last minute in their bookings of things. Why? I don't know. It just is the name of the game. And if I set my corporate clients up to do exactly what I want my wedding clients to do, I'm going to miss out on them because they're looking for responses like lickety split. And so what I've learned, and you would have thought I would have learned this a long time ago, considering we're almost 9 years old, but corporate has really changed since COVID, and it wasn't like this pre-COVID, but it's now like this. And I don't know if it's going to change, but again, name of the game right now, and you just have to roll with the punches. So again, if I were to set up the funnel, set up the flow to get corporate to do what I want my wedding clients to do, I would lose them. And in fact, I have in the past, which is why I've recently changed how quickly I respond to corporate and get time on the calendar booked with them. Because corporate is thinking differently than my wedding clients. So now when I do have an inquiry come in that is corporate, I'm immediately responding with, let's get some time on the calendar to discuss your event. What works for you over the next week? And while I'd rather have them pick a time in my calendar and it might be in 2 weeks, I can't do that for corporate because again, they're looking for the here and now right now. And so I have to be a little bit more flexible with how I communicate with them because they are looking for things right now. Wedding clients, I can set up into the workflow that I want them to be in because they actually have a much longer lead time before their event actually happens. And experience is really, really important to me for Sugar Creek. And experience with corporate is really important to me. So it's been this balance act for me over the last couple of months and trying to figure out how do I handle corporate in a way that makes them feel seen, makes them feel heard, and still is providing the Sugar Creek experience that I want, but is also responding much faster to get them into communications about what it is that they're looking for. So getting organized is important in creating that community around your brand because it is the piece where you are having dialogue, and dialogue is important in order for you to have opportunity to sell. And finally, tip number 6, which I briefly mentioned when I was talking about quality content. Be consistent. Frequency matters and your content matters. And this is another strong foundation for you in building community around your business. You got to be consistent. You got to show up. People have to see you. They have to remember that you exist, which means you have to consistently show up. And that's how you build community. These 6 tips will help you take action right now in starting or jumpstarting or restarting your intentional practice of building a community around your business. Because again, if you're playing the long game, community is what differentiates you. Community matters. Having megaphones matter for you because you're not necessarily paying them to be that megaphone. They have found true connection in you and your business and your brand and what it is that you offer, what it is that you stand for, what it is that you are shouting from the rooftops. It all matters. So let's recap real quickly what those 6 action items are. Tip 1, having a blog for your business. Tip 2, being accessible. Tip 3, creating quality content. Tip 4, speaking your why out loud through your brand. Tip 5, getting organized. And finally, tip 6, being consistent. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. Again, if you haven't grabbed a copy of my book, please go grab a copy of my book, Pillars and Purpose, How to Build a Business That Works for You. Grab it from Amazon. Easy link to get there, bossgirlcreative.com/pillars book. That's pillars with an S book to grab a copy. Again, I have a Kindle version and a print version. You choose, and I would just be so honored to have you grab a copy for yourself. Until next time, I hope you have a great rest of this week. Oh, wait, before I go, thank you truly for your support of my own business journey and this podcast, The Purposely Aligned Entrepreneur. If you know another entrepreneur who is in the same business trenches, who has already found success but might be feeling a bit lonely in their journey, my hope is that you'll share this podcast and this sisterhood with them. Because this, what we do day in and day out, isn't meant to be done alone. Speaking of lonely, if you're ready to squash the business journey loneliness, stop what you're doing right now and join the sisterhood. Visit bossgirlcreative.com/sisterhood. I can't wait to see you in there.